Hi guys, welcome back on SportsKhabri, arunfoot, Indian food and football. We are here to discuss a very interesting and exciting game that took place earlier today between Jamshedpur SC and Hyderabad FC. A home game for Jamshedpur. The crowd did not disappoint. Amazing crowd, amazing vibe. A good game of football without any refereeing errors. So I'll go first to Sayan. Sayan, your take on the match.
See, actually, we were discussing when we started we were doing a podcast, different podcast there, and we're discussing how the crowd will turn up today. The first thing which I was looking forward is the crowd in Jamshedpur. I think they have been, their home crowd has been very consistent in terms of attendance, irrespective of the result. I think that is a good best part of their home crowd support. And today also they have turned up in numbers. I don't have the exact official numbers. I think we should touch 20K. It should touch 20K because what I was seeing in the stadium, I think 20K was there today. And it's a good thing being in a weekday, 20,000 people turning up for a game where the team has got only 1 point in the first two games. That shows that the support is behind. And this is the thing we need in football, in Indian football especially, to grow this football, to develop and more and more fans to be engaged. And I think game wise also, I am very surprised. I think we discussed many times with Onauda, Rahul, you've been there, Akshata and Harry also. We have discussed various times that Jamshedpur, we were very unclear about the Jamshedpur team. We thought how they would shape up because if you see in Kolkata when they came, they played many practice games in Kolkata in the CFL, winning with many CFL clubs, and when they came in Durand, they didn't send their first string side there. So I was interested to see how they play. In fact, if you ask me, in the first game against East Bengal, they were unlucky they didn't get a penalty that time against East Bengal. I think they had a very good shout. I think uh, that phase, and I think in the second game they played very well against Kerala Blasters, but they lose that game. And they winning this game gives me a feeling. And I was discussing with Rahul while we started this podcast, and this Jamshedpur is another wild card entry to top six now. I think the way they are playing, I think it's showing some signs, and I think it will be very difficult for many teams to beat this Jamshedpur team. This team looks very composed, and I think coming times, you mark my words, this team can go anywhere because this team is playing really good football, and the way they played actually, they dominated the game. In fact, they could have scored. I think the goal scored by the Japanese striker. I think his name is Rei Tachikawa. I think he scored I mean, it's a fantastic free kick he took. But barring that, also, I think Alan Stevanovic, their captain, I think was superb. I think he had a very good game. But then I think Elsino, one of the centre backs, I think he had a very good game. I think many of the Indian counterparts also. I think Pranay 6 point. I think Emil Benny. I think they did their job. Jeremy, I think Ricky, I think all the players did their well. But problem, I think for Hyderabad will now accumulate because they were the runners up in the league table last time. And if you see, uh, it will be very difficult for now for Hyderabad. After losing two games in a trot, I think they are a good side. They can make a comeback when they play at home. But Jamshedpur were better team today and deservedly winning this game for me at least. And I was very happy. The crowd and everything, the game played by the home team. I think good. I think the team. I always say the team who have a good home support, if they start winning games, so it is good for the league also. It's very good
Yeah.
for the league. Ah, I think next we can ask Una without Rahul on this.
The crowd turned up, the team turned up for the crowd. Anova, your take on the match.
I think the first thing to mention is, and you've already discussed it, I think, is the support that Jamshedpur FC have in the city. And despite all the failures of last season, I mean, the season before they won the Shield. Last season they didn't do good. Cooper, interesting coach, harsh decisions. Chimachuku, not even in the squad. Manzoro didn't. I don't know. Was he really injured or, you know, not very clear. Brings in someone like Sayan, who's exciting young Indian talent, and Semboy Haukip nearly scores a second in the end, and the energy that Semboy Haukip has brought on. So Jamshedpur, a lot of positives. Also, often criticized Pranay Halda. Good game. Jitu had a good game. Um, it's an interesting unit that is building over there, and it's an interesting unit. Why? Because they are sort of unsung heroes, rather unknown players, and there's potential, especially at home. I think anyone who has to go to the furnace, to Jamshedpur, to the JD Tata Sports Complex, will have a tough time. It doesn't matter who it is, and I think that's a good sign for them.
Rahul.
I think Arunava called it. I think he said harsh. I think I'd like to say it was bold. I like that in a manager, Steve Cooper, to remove Manzoro when he felt like he should. These are good qualities that managers have. I mean, managers need to have, in my opinion, at least. You're the boss. You're the guy who's calling the shots. So take those bold decisions when you feel like it. They look exciting. I think I'm really excited to see what Jamshedpur have to bring. Like Arnava and Shayan both mentioned, Stevanovic brilliant. I think not only did he have a good game, but he showed a lot of leadership qualities. I remember there was a point when he went and told Emil Benny, "Good job, you tried, playing and tried getting into the box." And when you have somebody like that, senior guy telling these youngsters, "You're doing well. You know what? Like keep at it, keep going." It's only going to build the confidence of the team and the morale. So I really liked it. I really like what Jamshedpur had to bring. I think they had just the slight edge over Hyderabad today, and they deserved winners. Hyderabad were good on the counter. They had a couple of chances. Knowles could have scored a couple of times on the break. They did their bit playing on the counter, kind of. Jamshedpur played a high line, so you had that space in behind. They did utilize it, just didn't score. So, yeah, it can happen.
Hyderabad, along with Punjab and Chennai, have lost 2 matches each. Um, do you see them going with a different mindset in the upcoming matches? Shine.
I think they have to. They had a very decent game against East Bengal. I think today I was somewhat disappointed the way they played. I think they could have attacked from the start only. I think they had a very defensive approach. I think 2-3-1. I think
Is
they
that
have
me
a
or
very
is
good
China's connection
quality
bad at the
team.
moment?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Shine,
it's
some issue
Cheyenne,
with the connection.
can you hear us?
Hello. I Yes, I can
You
hear you all,
you
but you
seem
can't
to
hear me.
you seem to be in a Hiren situation from yesterday.
I think I can off my camera. I think that may be
Yeah,
an issue.
that
I
will be
think
okay. Yeah.
that may
Just do that.
I think now it's fine.
slightly
Is
like
it fine
it's
now?
still voice is
Not that.
cracking,
No.
Shayan.
Yeah.
I think I can rejoin. Then you guys can continue and just rejoin.
Sure.
I think I went to 2 minutes. Okay.
Sure. Anna, would you like to take up that question?
For Hyderabad, it's a difficult one because you lose a late one against East Bengal. Your first home game against Goa is postponed. The team doesn't look settled yet. I think some of the foreigners haven't really arrived in the Indian Super League or in Indian conditions yet. Uh, um, so therefore one has to see how they settle in. I don't know really this Connor Nestor and Tangboy Singto situation in the background. Someone who's actually doesn't have the pro license is actually the head coach. So therefore it's going to be a tough season for Hyderabad, even though they still have a lot of talent, not only Indian but also foreign. Who knows? Maybe they need some time to gel. But that fluidity. Also, if you remember, at the beginning of last season, Jamshedpur didn't play. Hyderabad didn't play the best of football, but they got the results. Got a lot of one nils and all. So therefore, from that standpoint, I think they will need a few matches, and who knows? It looks like it will be a tough season for them. It doesn't seem like they're going to be one of the teams really challenging, maybe top 4, top 6. It looks tough at the moment.
Rahul and Anua, both of you, what do you think Jamshedpur are doing right overall? You know, like the kind of improvement they've shown, the kind of work they're putting in, both to gather the support of the crowd and, of course, on the field. So, what are some of the things that they're doing right?
For me, I just like the approach of the coach. Playing a high line, it's again, it's bold and it's brave, and I like that. Again, you have the right foreigners playing. Savanovic did a good job today. Um, you have the couple of Indian players. Ricky was good today. So was Emil Benny. Yeah, and Ray Tachikawa, beautiful goal. So they've just got good things. But again, I feel like today's game could have gone very differently. I know Jamshedpur were the better team. I don't know, Sayan, Akshita, don't you guys feel like if Hyderabad could have taken the chances on the counter, playing the balls above that high line, they could have scored a couple. Knowles had a couple of chances. I remember Yasir was through on goal. He had a bad touch and gave the ball away. If they somehow take those chances, it's a very you'll come out and say, you know what, they played away, they set up right, they did the right things, they played the balls over the top of the high line, they scored the goals. What else do you want from a team that's going away and getting a job done? So I think it could have gone differently. It's just that Hyderabad didn't take their chances. It's a risky game playing a high line, so you need to score enough and you will
It's
concede goals.
it's Rahul. These are those, those slim margins I was talking about yesterday, with a lot of games in this ISL very, very close. Where team wins 1-0, 2-1s, which could end in a draw, could end and it's one of those days where, I don't know, Hyderabad could have played for 3 hours, 4 hours of football, and most probably they would have not scored. You have those kind of days, right? So and I liked also towards the end that Jamshedpur was still trying to break their play. Hyderabad had their passages, where they play their typical style of football, where they're playing the ball around. What I found interesting was, when Joe Victor with his passing, and all that, but still, I feel that, again, we were talking a few months back about Jamshedpur. They don't have a team. They're not signing players. Sliskovic is injured. This, that, everything. Oh, they will have a terrible season. And the little that I've seen so far of the three matches, I will say, not little. I've seen them quite a bit actually. But again, what I've seen so far is I'm liking it. I'm liking that approach that Cooper is taking. Again, also against the Blasters. That's Adrian Luna for you, right? But otherwise also against East Bengal, good performance. And today, small margins, and that small margin worked in their favor. And that's what's crucial. Sorry, to add, it was very, very crucial for them. If they don't win today, you don't know how, if they get another draw, you don't know if they get stuck into that, and that could sort of, make it a tough season. But now anything is possible.
Again, just a quick follow-up, guys, on that. How do you guys think over the course of the season, Jamshedpur will get away with playing that high line? Because they were very high and they did get caught on the counter a couple of times. Do you think other teams will dispatch them on their days?
They may, but it's again the coach. He has this philosophy of playing in Highland. I think till now what they have played, I think I agree with Orunavuda, and think till now what I've seen of Jamshedpur, I am very, very surprised. In fact, I was also not one of them who said that they would make really a big difference in this league, but the way the first three games, I must admit, they have taken me in a shock. I think I would admit about the way they were playing against East Bengal. I saw them play. I think that was a very good game they played against KVFC also. They somehow lost the game, but they played a very good game. And today's game, I think they deserve to win this game. If they have not won this game, I think that shows. But somehow, I think Onavuda and Rahul and Akshata, I think one observation of Jamshedpur is that I think their finishing is something we need to look into. I think they scored a goal through free kick today. If you see the KVFC match also, they were unable to finish many chances, and in fact, East Bengal game also. And today also till the 70th minute, I was in a bother that this finishing can ruin their 3 points today. But somehow through the free kick, that Shikawa, he scored a goal, but all things said and done. But finishing is something I think we should be more worried of than the defense, I think, of Jamshedpur.
Yeah, 16 attempts, only 2 on target for Jamshedpur.
Yes, yes. That says, tells you
But
the story then.
but that's, I think, a general problem with a lot of teams, right? I mean, that's not just a Jamshedpur problem. I think rustiness would be maybe a too harsh a word, but I feel that teams are not in their prime yet. I think they need 3, 4, 5 matches to get into the groove.
Correct.
Now, a lot of teams will have 3 matches, but then they now go into the break for the Medica Cup and then come back. I think, give it another 3, 4 weeks. I think then we should be seeing teams sort of getting to a higher level and sort of peaking for the first time maybe this season.
We already have a question on Steam Match that has come up. Guys, we will be discussing that, but quickly, there's a very important match that I will hopefully be going to tomorrow, which is Punjab FC and Northeast United. Quickly, guys, your predictions. Do you think that Punjab FC will come back and surprise with a win tomorrow in their home game?
No,
I know.
that will be not their home game. I think Northeast home game tomorrow. You mark my words, tomorrow will be Northeast home game.
No, but Akshata will tilt it in favor of Punjab FC now, no?
Yeah, I'm going to support.
That is something which is
We post match we
Which is
will
a
only be
possibility.
discussing how much did we hear Akshata in the stadium, and now she knows the level is now Jamshedpur FC. It's the furnace, and now is, I don't know what you call the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Delhi, the big one or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It's called JLN only.
Yeah. So maybe you'll have to start your chants, and I want a placard, which you're holding up. It says you're greeting Hiren, Rahul, Sayan, and me. Huh? So I want to see that as well. So yeah, looking forward.
It's my first ISL match, and I'm going with so much hope in my heart. Before this, I went for the Santosh
Oh.
Trophy match.
So what are you hoping?
It's gonna be amazing. The vibe is gonna be amazing. Hopefully, a lot of people turn up.
I
Hopefully,
think tomorrow will
considering
be
it's
your first reality check.
सेकंड रियलिटी चेक ना वो तो मैंने पैसे वाले पर्सपेक्टिव तो आपको शाम को बताया था.
Second wala.
This is the second reality check I'll get. Yeah, but the Santosh Trophy matches I went to, we were offered tea. Like the federation people were offering people tea and snacks and everything. So that was a different kind of a treat and environment. But
अब तो relax करो आप. कुछ मत लिखो, relax करो आप and watch the game.
Now
This is
it
gonna be
depends
interesting.
on where are you sitting general stands, or did you get VVIP tickets?
I have no idea what I've got. I spoke to one of my friends and he's arranged some passes because unfortunately abhi bhi there's no clarity from Punjab FC about the tickets. So yeah, I still don't know where I'll land up.
I think VVIP मिला हुआ then I think most probably because passes का तो मेरे I would have hearing.
जहाँ
But
भी
आप किसको
मिले,
support
I
करोगे
will.
कल? Whom are you supporting tomorrow?
I feel like supporting Northeast though.
Northeast को ही करिए आप, मैं बता रहा हूँ.
I think I should talk to the person, and your tickets should be.
फिर तो कल मैदान में एक आदमी भी नहीं रहेगा. फिर 50
No,
आदमी
I'll
का
go.
गेम होगा.
No. I think it will be only fair actually to support Punjab FC if I'm going on their behalf in the home crowd. Being a Delhiite, at least till the time they are gonna play from here, I think we should just turn up supporting them. Yes, guys, quickly your prediction for tomorrow.
I think the last comment from Roshan is very interesting, but I don't know if you will be able to get that drink.
Let's see. मैं setting करके आऊंगी next match के लिए सबके next matches के लिए सब.
एकदम.
Work it out. No, I think it's an interesting one tomorrow. Because we saw Punjab FC in their first 2 matches. I think they didn't do that bad. They played well. They're another one of those sides who are not scoring off their chances. Unlucky with the refereeing against Goa. That was a genuine goal from Luka Machin. That's another one. And Northeast United have been, a revelation so far. And I think there might be some hype tomorrow around Parthiv Gogoi. And, so therefore, could be a very, very interesting match to watch, because I think both sets of players and both coaches will want to play football, and that's always a good sign, rather than sort of trying to avoid conceding.
Rahul, your take on tomorrow's match?
I think Northeast go in as favorites, which is why I want Punjab to win the game. Love supporting the underdog. So again, like I want to watch Partha play. Oh God, I just want to see how long it takes for this kid to break into the national team, because he looks the part. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But for me, Punjab, come on.
It's
You
interesting
come
to
on,
see
थोड़ा
Rahul
जोर से
call
बोलो भाई.
someone a kid.
Come on.
राहुल come, Rahul come on,
Oh
तुम
yeah,
ऐसे
yeah, yeah. I mean,
बोलो.
yeah, true,
तो
true.
डिस्काउंट में come on बोलो तुम. You are saying come on like this. इसे पंजाब एफसी का कोई प्लेयर हिलेगा नहीं इससे at least. But
And
jokes apart, ये come on ठीक
Rahul
है
is calling
तुम्हारा.
him a kid.
Akshata, he's 20. He's 2 years younger than me. At least on paper.
ये पेपर भी तो होगा ना. But if you ask me tomorrow's match, I'll say I think I'll if my personal choice for tomorrow is Northeast winning the game. But somehow I feel Punjab were hardly undone last time with Punjab FC Goa. I think draw would be a fair result. फिर सबका बैलेंस संतुलन बना रहेगा. I think the balance should be maintained. So draw would be a fair result tomorrow. I think that would be
Mutual support.
good for both the sides.
Yeah,
Guys,
I would.
131 people watching us. Please like
Yeah.
this stream. Subscribe to all the 4 channels. In Food and Football, Aaron Foot. Curious Harry, Hiren is under the weather, so not here with us tonight. SportsKhabri, like the stream, share it, and do let us know what kind of content you want from us, and we'll try to create it. Early in the evening, Sayan also did a video on Steam Match and his extension, which is available on his channel. So please feel free to go and watch that. Lanjit Tata had also joined us for that discussion. So
Who
very insightful conversation.
who was the guest?
Nilanjan and I joined it.
You were a guest. Okay.
Well, very insightful conversation, because
Yeah.
Nilanjan has been in the AIFF and he, brought that.
He's
side of
worked
the picture
he's
as
worked
well.
with him, no? So he knows a few things. No, but
Yeah.
just to come back to the Punjab FC versus Northeast United FC game, as someone who's worked with Punjab FC in the past, I wish them all the best and hope that they break that sort of jinx against ISL teams that they seem to have been having for the last 6-7 months. I think they finally can win, because I think that they're an interesting and exciting team for this league, because they took a gamble, I would think, to a certain extent, because they signed a lot of players who performed last season in the I-League. They did take a few ISL players here and there, but they're, a lot of, Melroy, SCZ, for example, players like that, who they've brought in, who performed over the last 2-3 years in the I-League, and that will be interesting to see. So therefore, yeah, hoping for the best and hoping for a Punjab win.
There's a question on VAR in the ISL. Arnav, would you like to take it up?
See, I think we would love all to see VAR in the ISL. I think it would make the games more just. But the question remains that the human element on and off the field. I mean, we will need a certain time of training in regard to Indian referees with VAR. So that's not something that tomorrow we announce it and day after it's installed. There's a lot of cost involved, and there's rather cost cutting going on in Indian football. I think a lot of people don't realize. Look at what is happening to the I-League, the broadcast, which was supposed to be on television. No one came forward. The production costs were too high. The AFF are now thinking about live streaming it. These are realities of Indian football, if we like it or not, and that's that's at least I have to mention them. It's just not falling. Let these things fall under the carpet. So therefore, hopefully VAR Lite in some sort of form or way is installed next season. The question is, even if with the support of FIFA and AFC, when you get VAR Lite, will you get enough equipment to be able to do VAR Lite? So that's the other point. I can do it easily in a Bhutan or in Nepal, theoretically. Even I get one van, I put it up, I don't know, in Thimphu or at the Dasrat Stadium in Kathmandu, you're sorted. That's where you mainly hold your league. But what do I do when I have 12 venues across India? that's a cost. So therefore, yeah, let's hope that we get this thing forward. It's a very important thing. So therefore, yeah, let's hope things move forward.
There's 152 people watching. Please like the stream, subscribe to all the 4 channels, and share, subscribe, show your support. Now, coming to the next topic that we thought of discussing today, which is our head coach's extension. Um, Surprised by the timing of it because I was honestly not expecting the news to be out earlier this evening. I'll first go to Rahul because I know both Arnava and Sayan's side of the story. I'm really looking forward to understand from Rahul because um, Rahul, as someone who's 22 years old, been following Indian football, you are hopeful for the future of Indian football. What is your take on this extension?
So for me, like, at least on the extension, at least when I just leave the person out of it, like Igor match as a person, leave him out of it. If you just see from a just any coach for that matter of fact, if there was a coach sitting in my Indian team, I'd want the contract situation to get sorted before he's into the final, a couple of months, so that we have some sort of surety as to what the future lies ahead. Now, whether or not he's the right person for the job is a different discussion. So again, it's the same with any manager. I think when you're in the final few months, I think wasn't his contract up after the Asian Cup? Yeah. So the timing of it is good in the sense that we're done like about 4 to 5 months before his contract's completion. We got it signed. Now coming to the football part of it, again, look, I don't think again, he's somebody who is very vocal, who's very out there, and sometimes I don't really agree with a lot of things he says. But if you don't have a choice, and if you are going with this person, and if the AF wants him, as a fan, you have to back it, I guess. Like, I think that's how I've always seen it, even with Arsenal. Even if I didn't agree with a particular manager's tactics or the way he is, at the end of the day, if the board is backing that person, you have to roll with it. And I think, yeah, I will still get behind my team. I mean, like everyone will. So
Arnava, realist approach of things.
See, I think with the Asian Cup the World Cup qualifiers coming up, and with the Asian Cup coming up in Jan, and the contract running until the end of Jan, I would have said wait till the end of Jan and see what happens at the Asian Cup. I remember last time around with Steven, there were discussions. They wanted to extend the contract with Steven, but Steven said, let's see what happens. And Steven resigned after that 90th minute penalty loss to Bahrain himself. And that's how a well-run federation would operate. If you look at the results of the last few months, you'll say, very well done, right? But the question remains, who have we played? The coach with the federation is at fault for the whole fiasco of the Asian Games. Credit to the boys to getting us to the round of 16. And where do I start with this whole social media and media gimmicks? Right? And it's not in the best interest of Indian football. Period. And that has to be said. And if Igor doesn't like what I'm saying, sorry, Igor, that's the reality. I don't think that what has been happening, especially on social media, is good because you're instigating people. I think, let's not talk about it. I think those who want, look at the last episode of 420 grams. I think Arjun Pandit lays out what has happened around this contract extension. That itself, with that knowledge, it couldn't happen. And with the reprimand the coach has gotten for his statements, this and that, everything, nobody cares. Everything is fine. And that is the worrying part. And have we really improved? My simple question, when I take all of this out and I look at, have we really improved? Have players really been developed? No, because we are banking still on Sunil, we are banking on Gurpreet, we are banking on Sadesh to bail us out. That's the thing. When we had the chance over the summer to try out new players, we didn't do it. Parthiv Gogoi, why is he not in the squad for the Merdeka Cup? Simple question. How often is the coach in India and watching matches? Right?
Hardly.
So if I add all of these things up, I don't think it's the right decision. And again, like Rahul said, we can't change it now. So therefore, I will continue to support the team. Yeah, I will wish us all the best, but I don't have a good feeling with it. And there's certain things that I saw. In after winning the SAF Cup, I even told some of the players when I met them post match. And again, that's me. I'm an honest, straightforward person. And again, if I meet Igor, I'll tell him. I've told him that in the past. So therefore, I feel opportunity lost. And we've played a lot of matches, yes. But again, who have we played over the last 6-7 months? Right? When we played Iraq, you saw the difference. Right? Of course, you'll blame it on a penalty, on this, on that, and everything. I'm fine with that. Right? Again, it's done in the ISL as well. Remember yesterday. So, but that's not it. It's the gulf. It's the standard of where we stand. I think my biggest concern is the quality of football that we're dishing out. And again, this week, Mumbai City, my former team, Mumbai City, good example when we played Navbahar. You saw the difference between the Indian players and the Uzbeks. And this has me very worried for our matches against Australia and Uzbekistan. Very, very worried. Because we'll fight. We will run for 90 plus minutes. But we can't play football against these teams. So what's the strategy? What's the plan? Who is going to play? And the point is, in Asia, this whole scheduling is a mess, one has to also say. Your World Cup qualifiers start in November, and your Asian Cup comes after that in Jan, which is actually in between. So the question would have been is, if I'd considered a change, most probably I would have had to think about it in the summer. So that's the other conundrum. The only thing which I don't understand is, why was the coach given a 2-year contract? Why didn't you do a contract until the end of the World Cup qualifiers second round, until June? And then see, if you qualify for the next round, extend it until the end of the qualifier. And that's the thing. There's so many things are that just don't add up. And we've been talking about this over the last 3-4 months. And yeah, it's a worrying sign. And when you see pictures of, oh, you know what, we've won these 3 trophies. What's the value of the Tri-Nation? What's the value of an Intercontinental Cup? The SAF Cup, no doubt about it. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. Great performance. Yeah. But who are we fooling?
Sayan, we already had a conversation about this in the evening. There are some follow-up questions that I had in mind. Who are some of the coaches from the past who sort of performed much better but were not given the credit? And do you think that if we started this process a little earlier, we could have gotten some more applicants to join the team as a national coach?
There was no process. There was just an extension, right? So that's the first one. And again, Sayan and I would most probably say that, for example, Stephen Constantine did not get the credit that he should have gotten. A lot of the younger fans will not have been there or been around when Bob Houghton was a national coach, where Bob really built a lot. Even Wim Kovermans, who's now part of the AFC as the head of coaching, tried a lot of things in his short time over there. So we've got multiple coaches who've been there, um, but the point is that the end product, and that's the key thing. Vaishali, yes, we need to invest into grassroots. That's the key. We only see, and that's the point where we need to realize of what is our developmental pathway. How is the progression, let's say, for a 5-year-old from kicking a ball in a park to maybe 20 years later potentially being a regular in the Indian national team? What's that pathway? What's that route? Do we have that route? And those are the big challenges before we get to the question of the national team.
Correct. Correct. Actually, coming back to the question, what actually he was saying, Akshata was saying, that there are many instances where the coach, the previous coach, I think, the correctly said, Stephen was not given that due respect by the media, because he knowing Stephen and being how he's as handling media, and this is something which will not come, because see, Steven built a team. He when he came to India in the second stint, India's ranking was 174. When Wim Kovermans left, that was the time in 2014, and from there he has taken this team to a level. I think in 2019, where we d- when we defeated a Thailand team who was coached by Milovan Rajavac, who was that time coach of few years back. He was the coach of Ghana national team. Milovan Rajavac took Ghana to the quarterfinals of a World Cup in 2010. So we defeated and his job went after the game, after they lost to India 4-1. And there were many incidents. I think we drew against Marcel Levy's China in I think Gaolin, their striker was kept at bay by our Sandesh Jingan there to nil there, and Sandesh had I think Sandesh and Gurpreet had a great game that day. So without Sunil Chetri, that game was a draw, nil. So that again shows that if you have that spirit in you and it happens. I think Bob also did a very phenomenal job. He took in guided after 27 years to an Asian Cup. After 1984, we qualified in 2011 for an Asian Cup, and that time Asian Cup was a 16-team affair. So that is again we need to look into. So many other coaches, I think Sukhvinder Singh, I think where there was no help from anybody, and Sukhi Paji being such a nice human being, and means he's so down to earth, and how the way he deals people and online, he's a very good people manager, and I think he was also not given that credit. So I think these three people have done, I think, better than Igor, if you ask me personally, and Igor has been able to sell his success a lot better than them. That is made the difference. It's about selling your success in the market, and that's more important. But if you ask me, I'll again will go with if I make a team in future, I would rather pick Steven ahead of him. It goes without saying.
Akshata, you're on mute.
अक्षरा म्यूट है. और आपका अक्षता द सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ योर क्वेश्चन आई थिंक आई शुड आस्क क्वेश्चन, ये इसका भी मैं आंसर दे देता हूँ. दो एक्सटेंशन का जो बात था, देवर थ्री डिस्कस. व्हाई आई एम बिट angry, or sometimes I get agitated in some few things, is that last year, if you remember, before the Tri-Nation tournament happened, year in January, there was a press conference done by Igor Stimac where he said, I am leaving India after the Asian Cup. I think everybody remembers it. I think many of our people who have followed the game, they remember this. And in the press conference in Delhi, he said, I am leaving India after the Asian Cup. And then we said that, kaise ye chhod sakta hai, and why should you leave? You have a very major commitment. You should stick to our country. He said, no, I am leaving forward. I think I have taken India to a level. Now I think I should leave from here. Then come the success in Continental Cup, come the success in the SAF Cup. June, everything changes, and he says, I want to stay, but I want to be given according to my the contract needs to be extended for me to stay just now. Just before the Asian Cup, the contract needs to get extended. So he has played his cards well, if you ask me. I think AIFF could have waited till Asian Cup, see their performance, assess it. But again, they are. One thing I should say this, if in AFF's for, is that AFF also don't have the option, because in March we are again playing World Cup qualifiers. A new coach coming in there. We'll get in some time. So when the extension was done, 1 year extension was given on 2020, 21, 22, 22 that time. I think then only I think we could have looked for other options, because now it was very difficult.
Shayan, I
Yes.
don't agree to that. The point is, if you see around the world, um, also for national teams, it's at the end of the day, you're talking about development. Your national team is the end product. So my feeling is always is that when we talk about a national team, it's a question is that the national team showcases the best players or the best possible team and unit. But again,
Correct.
India is not in that situation where you can say, I pick A, I don't pick B. We are not in a situation like a France who can say, listen, I can play a World Cup without Karim Benzema. We are not. And there are players who are not being picked. But the point here is that, again, players are being excluded for different reasons. And we're not playing the best team. So the question
That is.
here is, yeah.
Mhm. Well, no, I agree with you, but problem is that if I would have been in AFF shoes also now, they could have done it previously. Now it is very difficult, because if we are
No, it's
having
not.
games,
But
Shine.
also, I want to add one point. But there
It,
was also a point where there were stories coming up in leading newspapers against rematch, right? So we could see that things were going in the direction that he may not stay with the team anymore. That means we for a brief period of time things were being considered, right? So क्या हुआ एकदम से that we decided नहीं कि is it too much work, or I don't feel like doing it, या अभी और चीजें हैं देखने को, we will see this later. I mean,
that
this
is
can
to
also be one
something
of the
which we
reasons.
can't say no. That is the
exactly,
problem. We
that's the
can't.
problem. I think we know quite a bit of what has been happening or what is happening at Football House, and I think we can't speak about publicly. That's the problem. I think nobody can speak about publicly because then all hell will break loose. So that's the real problem. I think most people don't know what's happening in the background, and yeah, I think most people would not even believe it. I think forget Netflix. I think you could do something which would be a combination of Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime, and whatever. It would be the best series in the world, and that's the reality, right? And this is another chapter of what's happening over there. So yeah, again, you had your opportunities, and the problem is that you have caused your coach for his social media antics or behavior, whatever you want to call it. You've not followed through, and he's continued with it. And the point here is who is driving this whole thing? How? Who is all involved in all of this? Those are the
Correct.
questions that need to be asked, and they're not being asked internally and not externally. And forget the media on that. So accountability, nothing, and that is my concern, that we are made to believe that things are fine and things are going in the right direction, where we all know that Indian football at this stage, on this day, on this 5th of October 2023, is in a very, very tricky scenario. Look at, Akshita, you've been asking the question, sponsorship. Where is the sponsorship in the ISL? Where is the sponsorship of the national? You have switched your kitting partner. You made no announcement about it. That's a huge thing. Normally around the world, it's the biggest news of the federation. Said, hey, listen, I switched from kit partner A to kit partner B. It just happened. And these are the things where I am concerned that where are we heading? People are being given hope, false hope, and very few people are honest enough to be able to speak about these things. That's why I say watch 420 grams. That story in itself normally should have been picked up by the media, and that would have been the end of Mr. Steemach on that day itself of being head coach of India for what was done over there. But that didn't happen, and it's not happening. So these are realities. Okay, we have to live with it.
This is
Interestingly,
I, I agree, Unavada, but sometimes what happens, no, but problem is that no, that Igor's team match, what Akshata was saying, I think she could told a very valid point. There was a time then people were deciding that his job is just now in. I think he's likely to be changed before the Asian Cup, but things will not happen because. See, Akshata and everybody, all the viewers, I think one thing we should understand is that uh, see, in India, something, no, what we feel should be done and what should be what this person should be removed. It all depends on the surroundings. The surroundings of the team is filled with his favor, and I think that makes his job easy. I can't say much more than this, and the team is happy to have him as a coach, and that's the thing. Reasons unknown.
But Roshan raising the point when a FIFA ban is coming, no, even then things didn't happen. And again, if you see the outcome after it, um, who's following a constitution, right? Simple thing. Who's following the sports code in India? Nobody is.
and also
That's
some cases are pending in the court, right, Arnoa?
yeah.
And
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 Unavada,
how will
you
things change after the outcome of them?
correct. Unavada, you were part of that time when you came to India for the FIFA ban. It happened, and you were seeing their things there. So,
Yeah.
Unavada, do you think this FIFA ban actually was done by one of few of us, and that lead to more debacles in Indian football? What I feel now after 1.5 year, 1 year, 3 4 months now, 1.5 year, right? To be exact.
I think the problem is in an Indian context is the original cases filed many years back in regard to the sports code. Now, my question would be in an Indian context, how many federations actually follow the sports code? Does the Indian Olympic Association follow the sports code? And if I would follow the sports code, the problem here is that you've actually utilized that to install people who don't qualify in any of these criteria of any constitution, right? So that's the reality. And then you get into the situation, and again, people will call me a sympathizer of the old regime and whatever. No, they just got with, despite all the problems, they kept the system running. Where are the youth leagues? Where are the youth leagues? No, they're not. And Utkarsh, sorry, saying sponsorship will be announced. The person who's supposed to do the sponsorship has resigned from the AFF,
Wow.
right? Because they've messed up the Indigo deal.
Utkarsh.
So take it. So therefore, there is no one is waiting to come forward to do things. There were some, that is the brutal reality that we live in. There are people who are saying, we should get rid of surrogate betting brands. Yeah, get rid of it. But who else is putting substantial money into the market otherwise? Nobody is.
True.
So these are the realities. And again, ask questions, think about it. Don't take things for granted. Don't take things for granted. Question it. So take it. But again, lots of things happening, and the signs are not good at the moment. Sorry.
Rahul, since you are from that younger age bracket, I want to understand from you why is it that people who are new to Indian football or who are just starting to get into the watching scene of Indian football, why is it that they are so inclined towards him? And what, as per you, is it in him that is attracting the younger generation?
Okay, I don't know. At least personally, I don't know people who are attracted to see much. I mean, at least in my generation. But again, uh, anyways, like if there are a group of people, I think for me, I think it's probably because he's basically getting out this brand of modern football. You playing with the ball and all of that. He's trying to do it, which is probably why they're attracted to it. And he's a little vocal. I don't know if that plays a part. Maybe it does for certain people, but Yeah, for me, I think if anybody's over the top, like Steve matches, which I really think he is, yeah, we need somebody else. But as long as he's going to get the backing, we just have to roll with it. It's just
Yeah.
it's just what it is.
And also to both of you in China is also back. Do we see him sort of preparing other players to take up the role of Sunil Chhetri once he decides to retire? Because we have to address, and he will have to address this situation, because now that the extension has happened, he will be there when Sunil Chhetri retires.
We don't know, Akshata. Sunil Chhetri at the moment is so fit that I believe if India get into the third round of the World Cup qualifiers, that Sunil will play until the end of that, because Sunil also potentially maybe has that dream in his back of his mind uh, 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 that he is that he he could actually play until then. That he has sort of that final aim. Will he get there or will he not get there? And that's the that's the problem, I think,
That means
we are in.
we will not get any striker in coming times, because if you see in all national team, all the games Sunil will only play. Against Bangladesh also Sunil will play, and against Lebanon and Turkey or Kuwait also Sunil will play. So whenever the people are not coming, so new people, players are not coming up only because of this, and it's high time. I think it's high time. I think Indian Football Federation and the coach also thinks to look beyond him. If he doesn't, if he can continue till 50 years of age, but it's good for Indian football, we should think beyond him now. We should
And
think beyond him. With I have total high regards and respect for him, but something which we need to admit something needs to come to an end. And we are not doing any good. We are giving him so many chances because he's doing good. But we can take chances against Bangladesh. No, why for Bangladesh also we need Sunil Chhetri to play? Why against Bhutan? Why against Nepal also you need Sunil Chhetri to escape you through? Because you're not giving others at moment. Only Rahim Ali got some few chances. That also in one or two matches we became judgmental. He can't play because Sunil Onawada will be knowing. And Akshata, if you have seen when Sunil started, when Sukhvinder Singh was the coach of the national team in 2005, what was his performance, Onawada, in the Pakistan tour? And after that,
See, the
no,
point is,
I'm
yeah,
trying to make a point is that we have to
nothing.
understand, we have to think beyond him. We have to think beyond him from now on. Or else what will happen? No, one day he will put his boots up and then we have no replacement. We have to give people chance. Also, अक्सर नहीं होगा अगर हम लोग फॉरवर्ड नहीं बनाएंगे ना, अगर हम लोग हर मैच में सुनील छेत्री को ही खिलाएंगे और सुनील को भी अच्छा लग रहा है खेलने में, बट ये देश का फुटबॉल आगे नहीं बढ़ेगा, बिकॉज वी नीड गुड स्ट्राइकर्स टू कम इन. ईशान पंडिता नहीं चल रहा है तो वी कैन गेट अनदर गाय टू ट्राई तो करते हैं. हु नोज, अगर बाइचुंग भूटिया को इंडिया के जब व्हेन ही वाज मेड हिज इंडिया डेब्यू, तो उसको अगर मौका नहीं मिलता है, ईस्ट बंगाल में जब उसको फर्स्ट मौका मिला था, अगर उनको ग्रूम करके वो मौका नहीं मिलता तो आज बाइचुंग भूटिया बनते नहीं, वो भी कुछ अलग प्लेयर बन जाते, उनको चांस नहीं मिलता. Because talent is something.
Take Sunil Chhetri, take even Abhishek Yadav, all these guys who have been there in that generation before. Bob Houghton used to always give chances to the other strikers. So Stephen also has been trying to play around in friendlies. We're giving chances to players, and that's something which again, and that will in the long, again, we're not talking about the next 2 years. I think in the long run, in the 5-10 years down the road, it will harm us. It's a general problem. And at international level, you're not even in Asian Games, we are depending on Sunil to bail us out. And that is something, and Banyop, that's a point. I mean, we had Robin Singh, we had JJ, we had Manandeep, again, a different class. So that's the point. Will a Parthiv Gogoi get a chance?
Yes.
Apoya, for that matter, will Apoya get a chance now?
नहीं मिलेगा.
So that's the point, right? I mean, if you see Apoya, at least if you saw him against the Uzbeks, I'll say
he was the best player. He was the best player in that. He's the best player in the ground.
Yeah. So
Indian player.
But for different reasons, what's going to happen?
And also, the captain, the leadership role will also be missing in the team, right? Will be largely missing in the team. So we are not just going to replace a striker, but also a leader. And isn't it better that we start thinking that direction while Sunil is still very much active in the team so that he can support in the transition rather than waiting कि हाँ वो चले जाएं उसके बाद हम सोचेंगे.
हाँ सब पूरा ट्रांजिशन में ही वो हेल्प कर रहे हैं
Our problem is we are always thinking in the here and now. We're not thinking long term, and that's the whole problem with the federation. It's about I'm looking into today. I'm not looking into tomorrow. I can present a vision paper 2047, but again, is what's the steps? What's the what are we doing to get to that? And that's the doesn't matter, and that's the challenge. So take it, we will raise these topics. If others don't, others don't, and others will not for different reasons. They will say what is wanted of them to be said. So that's take it. We'll have to live with it.
If any of you want to add any point, otherwise we can wrap up today's session now.
No, I would finally I'll say that what Arunavada said and what you were trying to you questioned Arunavada that regarding this transition part and everything was going on. I think the transition is going smoothly now. I think with 2026, I think with Igor in charge, I think Sunil play until 2026 now. I think, and we are not getting any strikers in future also because he says this that I don't think beyond Sunil because he knows that after if he thinks beyond Sunil that he's not there after there anymore. No, so ठीक है, it's good. I think this is the problem we have. No, we are not developing players, and I think this is what I always say: talent is nothing without opportunities. If you don't give the talent necessary opportunities, your Shiva Shakti was not given opportunity by Simon Grayson last year, and Sunil was benched in few games. That's how Shiva Shakti evolved. So you have to give players that opportunity. Problem in our national team is that we are not giving chances. I've interacted with 3 coaches of SAF nations right now recently. 2 of them, so I know everybody knows. I recently talked. We had a game with one of the teams in SAF Cup in Bangalore, and he said me without Sunil Chetri, you were not able to score a single goal till the 82nd minute, and you needed Sunil Chetri to score, and that team's ranking is below 170. So where are we? And I think 90 minutes that guy played that game. अगर उसकी जगह कोई और हो तो वो भी कर सकता था गोल. मेरा बोलने का ये मतलब है नेपाल को डिफेंस में बेक कर सकता था. ऐसा नहीं उनको ही करना है और भी है आदमी with all due respect to everybody. I also love him. I also have huge respect for him. But some things we need to say some things. इसमें कोई we need to not take half measures. जो है hard truth. We have to say these things. और उनके बिना भी हम लोग अच्छा खेले ऐसा नहीं है. मैं आपको जो चाइना का मैच बोल रहा था 2018 में मार्सेलो लिपी के साथ जो हम लोग का मैच था it was without him in the stadium in the ground. So
we also drew Qatar without Sunil.
Without Sunil. If you should understand that game को follow करना है. ऐसा नहीं अंधे का जैसा follow करना है. We have to understand the game and then we can. Problem is that we don't question. Rahul correctly said people are busy giving Rahul's statement and good things. अच्छा चीज बोलने पब्लिक को अच्छा लगे वो चीज बोलने में ज्यादा people are very happy doing that. At the end of the day we need to do that soul searching. वो नहीं होगा ना तो आप रात को सो नहीं पाओगे और तब आपका फुटबॉल इंप्रूव नहीं करेगा जो मेरे को लगता है क्योंकि मैं फ्रस्ट्रेट बहुत दिन से हो चुका हूँ ना अभी ओनावदा को एक्सपीरियंस और भी मेरे से ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस्ड है बट ओनावदा से मैं जो सीखा हूँ फ्रस्ट्रेशन आ ही जाता है 2-2 विदाउट सुनील इराक एकदम अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगा महेश गोल ही नहीं कर पाता अगर सुनील खेलता उस मैच में अगर महेश गोल ही नहीं कर पाता सुनील अगर वो मैच खेलता दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम आई एम सेइंग सो वी हैव टू गो एंड आई थिंक करना करेगा Bolo.
I want to take Rahul's perspective on this quickly. Rahul, your club also has Sunil Chhetri in it. Do you see BFC planning in a different way?
So I think one thing with the ISL, luckily for every club, is that you have the option of going to foreigners. So it's not that big an issue compared to the national team. So if you want to replace, say, a Sunil Chhetri as a striker, you always have the option of going to a foreign striker and bringing him in. You don't have that luxury with the national team. So it's a lot easier with clubs, I think. Of course, no doubt, it's almost the player himself is irreplaceable. As far as Indian quality goes, the best we've had, the best we'll probably have for a long time. So yeah, that part of it is always going to be there. But as a striker, I mean, positionally, it's not going to be an issue because you can bring in foreign talent.
And that's, I think, the interesting part. I think a national team also has to see how you use your FIFA friendlies. Again, doesn't matter if we're playing Kings Cup or Merdeka Cup; those are friendlies. The Intercontinental Cup, those were the opportunities where you could have tried out things. Again, June, not the SAF Cup. The SAF Cup, there you have to have put your best 11 forward. World Cup qualifiers, best forward. Asian Cup, best forward. But the other ones are there to try out things, but also to settle things. That's the other thing, right? So the question is, if Sunil, God forbid, gets injured, what then happens? And we had that situation at the 2011 Asian Cup. Baichung Bhutia was injured. Sunil and Abhishek Yadav played in that 4-4-2. So the point here is, what is my pathway? If I have good players, Ishfaq Ahmed, under 16s, won the SAF. Right? What is the pathway for that 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid as a striker? Where are the youth leagues? Indian Arrows has been mentioned by a few, is something which I feel is a huge mistake to stop that program. Because over the last 10, 12 years, it has given us a lot of players. Right? Parthiv Goga is another one of those. They're all Arrows players. Again, this is something where the AFF has done a lot of things right. But, yeah, we are not. Who is talking at the federation with the coach and working on a strategy? What is my short? What is my mid? What is my long-term strategy with the national team? Because it seems to be we're going from match to match. And that is something, guys, whatever you're saying, I think this is something, again, I've traveled myself a lot with the team, being part of the team. It's always been that issue. I remember after the 2011 Asian Cup, huge turnover, because that whole generation, not only of Baichung, but Renedy and all these guys, Deepak Mandal and all these guys ended. And it was a strong team. It was a strong squad. We had characters in that team, right? And after that, there was Surkumar, a lot of players. And then you go and try and build a team. Sunil becomes the new leader. Gauravangi tries and helps him. Subroto Pal becomes someone important in that team. Players who are juniors. So, Roshan, yes, Akash certainly wasn't a match for Navbahar, but again, not every Indian Arrows player will be a great footballer. But Akash Mishra is still one of our best young talent. And he's still not settled at Mumbai City. Let him reach Mumbai City properly. Let him start to show what he's capable of. We need to support these boys. But there's also a reality that if you don't get a chance, you're not going to do it. And the question is, again, look at why wasn't Ishan Pandita given a chance without having actually played a 90-minute match? Because we didn't have options. And again, you cannot blame it on the ISL. Why? Because in the ISL, the club coaches are playing not to develop players. They are playing to win matches with their teams. Right? But I, as a national coach, always need to, first of all, have my first line ready, my first 11. But also that we grow the things. And that's the point. And Utkarsh, if you believe it or not, if Stephen was better or not, what was our best match over the last 5 years? It was under Stephen Constantine, the 4-1 win against Thailand. By far, I was there in Abu Dhabi that day. Our best match. Right? So therefore...
See, Utkarsh, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion.
I don't have an opinion for the sake of having an opinion, Shan. I've been there, I've seen it myself. You guys might have an
I think,
opinion as a fan. I don't have an opinion as a fan, and that's the different thing. And it's not a question of who was better or not. I'm not talking about the style of football, yes or not. I'm talking about what was happening. And there's a lot of things that you guys don't know, and we'll never get to know what happens. And it doesn't matter if it's the Indian national team or if it's, what happens in the dressing room with the Argentinian national team or at Man United, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, whatever.
Yeah. Guys,
Yeah.
the disappointments are never ending because every day we try to be positive, but somehow we get carried away and reality kicks in. So, thank you so much to everybody who joined us today. Arnava has touched 504 subscribers today, so many congratulations, Arnava.
Thank you.
Oh, lovely.
So I've crossed Shine now, right?
And
No,
Arnava
no,
will
you
soon
will.
start accepting membership on arunfoot. So, guys, please head to arunfoot if you've not already subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much to all of you who joined us today. We'll see you. I won't see you tomorrow, but others will be joining tomorrow. So keep sharing, liking, subscribing the content that we are creating. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Good night.